What's up guys, it's me, your boy SteveRandom here. In today's video, I'm doing 5 colognes that I would keep for my collection. Now let's say I was just getting rid of all my collection and I have about 40 full bottles or like bottles, and I have about like 35 samples, so total I have about 75 fragrances, if you could say. But let's just say I had 40 fragrances to get rid of, and these 5 I would keep. There's gonna be different reasons. Some might be, I'll just basically explain, but there's gonna be different reasons for each one that I keep. Let's get into it. Basically, yeah, 5 fragrances that I would keep for myself if I was getting rid of all my fragrances. These are a must keep. Now I want to start off with a banger and just start off with a king right here. You know, when I say the king, I mean King Aventus or Creed Aventus. This one I would definitely keep for my collection, just because, and this is not only because, it's just because, but not only because. I don't know if you guys get that. This is just because it's the most expensive cologne in my collection. That's one. Secondly, it smells the greatest, or at least of the full bottles, in my opinion, does smell the most great and unique. So it's another reason why I'm keeping it. And the third reason is it's too much to just give up, you know. It's like a prized possession. It's like having, let's say, a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce or a Bentley as your car that you've worked so hard for, and then you wanna, I don't know, somebody wants to buy it from you, but buying it, or I don't know, but basically it's basically your little kind of prized possession that you want to keep and you don't want to give away or you don't want to get rid of. So this is right now kind of like a statue in my room, you know. I put it up on the top of my shelf and I just let it look over my room, and just, you know, that's a little bit weird, but basically it's at the top of my shelf and it's just the greatest right now what I have. And I'm looking for more to come, more great fragrances to come to my collection. And yeah, so far this is it. This is one of them. Creed Aventus I'd definitely keep. A lot of reasons, but those are a few reasons why I would definitely keep it. So Creed Aventus, and that's one fragrance that I would keep from in my collection if I was getting rid of it. Another fragrance that I would keep in my collection if I was getting rid of it, I would keep this beauty right here, which I used to mention a lot, but lately I've kind of toned down the mentioning of this one, because I feel like every time I do mention it, you guys will already know what's up with it, and I don't want to bring back stuff, or like I just don't want to be too repetitive. And I feel like sometimes I am, and, you know, sometimes I read people's comments saying up your collection, or, you know, upgrade your collection, but I do kind of try to upgrade my collection. But you guys know I can't really buy a lot of fragrances at one time, you know. I gotta try to kind of minimize the amount I'm buying with, or like kind of, you know, just work together everything. And this is Polar Red Intense. If you guys don't know about this, then check out my past videos. Not too much past, but the past videos I've made. Don't go like 3 years ago, go like 7-8 months ago. Because those 3-year-old videos or like 2-year-old videos are a little bit cringy. So Polar Red Intense, this one was one of my first fragrances I ever got. Surely can be one of the best, if not, you know, when I first got it, it was definitely the best of my collection, and I was really hyped about it. I was really excited to use it, and it's now skipped on to about, I'm not sure how long it's been. I've had this for, but it's been a long time. And yeah, I truly do love it. It smells like cranberry, a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of coffee, and it just smells like a nice, fresh, yet citrusy, slightly, you know, citrusy, like that grapefruit kind of bitter citrusy, but not too bitter, with a little bit of freshness. And overall, it just smells beautiful. I would definitely keep it because it was one of my first fragrances, and it's one of the first fragrances that got me inspired to keep doing more of, you know, the fragrance videos. This kind of has a nice place in my heart, and that's why I would keep it. Yeah, I'm not trying to get emotional, but one reason why I would keep it is because it's inspired me to go on further. And it's like, let's say you've wrote your first song that like that's boomed, like that got the world's attention, or whatever, you know, in your career, something that's like really made success. That would kind of be the highlight of your career, I assume, right? And this is kind of the highlight of my collection, because this is really what got me into this YouTube and moved me forward into making more of these videos, and really what got me inspired to start a YouTube fragrance channel. I don't think I've ever explained it, but that's kind of one of the reasons why I started this. And there's another reason, but I might keep that for another video, that's a little bit more sort of personal and kind of just on another side. So Polar Red Intense is another fragrance I would keep. And by the way, we have 5 fragrances, so there's 3 more left. La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. And if you guys don't know about La Nuit de l'Homme, if you guys haven't watched Jeremy fragrance, he was basically the person that made me buy this fragrance, and I can say 100% that I bought it just because of him. I didn't know anything about it, but I bought it because of him, and I truly do love it. I wasn't even too sure about buying it because it sounded like something I wouldn't like, but once I bought it, I was like, holy crap, this is really good. Holy crap, this is really good. Like, it's insane. But when I first got it, it's kind of like, wow, like this is beautiful, it smells nice, it's really a sexy fragrance. And then it kind of got me moving on to like, because I saw, and this was when I was like a Jeremy fragrance fanboy. It was about maybe 2 years ago, I think. But basically Jeremy was putting this in his top complimented lists, or like his most complimented lists, and I would see this on there and I would be like, wow, so what else can get me more compliments? And I'm kind of like, this was also another one that kind of like pushed away into like kind of wanting to smell more fragrances and kind of just see, whoa, if I put this cologne on, would I get more compliments? Would I feel more confident? You know, just that stuff. It kind of got me into the movement of making these videos. That's why I would keep it. And secondly, I just do really like the smell. And I'm not saying this because, oh, I'm a Jeremy fragrance fan, but no, I'm just really saying it honestly from myself. I do really love this fragrance, and that's La Nuit de l'Homme. Next up, we have Invictus Aqua, and mainly, just straight up, I'm gonna tell you guys the reason why I would leave this. I wouldn't throw it away or give it away or do anything with it if I'm giving away my collection or getting rid of my collection. The reason I would definitely keep this, one reason that's just out there I'm gonna throw, is that it's very rare. It's almost impossible to find unless, you know, you want to pay what, like 200, I'm not sure how much it is for right now, 150 or something, which is kind of a lot, to be honest, for something that people describe as a synthetic mess, you know. But nonetheless, this cologne also does get me compliments, does smell good. I've loved it from first sniff. When I first got it, I bought Invictus and this one. Well, I got Invictus first, actually, by like a few days. And then when I sprayed Invictus, I was like, I do like the sweetness, but it kind of could get annoying. Then Invictus Aqua arrived, and I was like, wow, this is a much better version of Invictus. And I do still love it, and I tried it on, you know, a few times. It got me a few compliments. It works well for my favorite seasons, the spring and the summer, or I could say mostly the summer is my favorite season. This is Invictus Aqua, by the way. I've tried the 2018 one, but I wouldn't say anything about it to keep in my collection, because I feel that one is just more subtle. It's not as like popping out as this one is, and I do really like that popping out, actually. Now thinking about it, at first I didn't really like how strong this was, but now the more fragrances I'm sampling are not even lasting at all, I'm like, wow, I'm glad this one does last. So Invictus Aqua I would definitely keep because it's rare and it smells good. It's just Invictus Aqua, the 2016 edition. My last and final fragrance that I would keep, this might be repetitive, and this is where it's gonna get repetitive, and I'm not gonna really say much about this, but I'm just gonna say a few things. Just bear with me, guys. Don't, you know, get too mad about this one. This one it starts with a D, has an S in it, has a G, has a U, has a A, has an E, has an I, has an O, has an R. It's Dior Sauvage. I can't say much except that this was one of the fragrances that really kind of like just turn my head away. I know most of you guys, or some people do say, like, am I the only person that doesn't like Dior Sauvage? Of course you're not the only person. There's a lot of different opinions out there that, you know, just are different, you know, and we all have different opinions. But this one, my brother actually owned this one first. I was kind of like, whoa, my brother has some colognes I don't have. What's going on? And this is when I had no idea about Dior Sauvage. So I was kind of like, what is this Dior Sauvage? Like, I've never heard of this. So I spray it on like this, and then I'm like, sweet, I'm kind of doing this. I'm like telling my brother, do you like this one? And then I start getting whiffs of it. I'm like, who is this from this one? And heck yeah, it is. And I was like, I'm definitely buying this cologne for myself now. Pretty much this also is, I think, the only fragrance in my collection that has not got me a negative reaction. That's all I can say. It hasn't got me a negative reaction. So every time I get a compliment from a girl, from a guy, they're always positive. That's Dior Sauvage. And yeah, explicit compliments, I don't know if I'm gonna release that one, just because a few of you guys told me that you want to see explicit compliments with this one, but I feel like nah, it might not happen because I don't want to get my channel, you know, demonetized or blocked or whatever, you know. So I'm just gonna keep it to myself. And Dior Sauvage has not got me bad reactions. It's got me a lot of compliments. It really blew me away from the first sniff, and that's why I would keep Dior Sauvage. And that's why I'm gonna end the video right here, because I've done all my 5 fragrances that I would keep if I was getting rid of my fragrance collection. And let me know what you guys would keep, 5 fragrances that you would keep if you were getting rid of your fragrance collection. Peace.